Did you know that in 2002, just about 19 years ago, 10 grams of gold would have cost you rupees 4,990. Today, the price of that same 10 grams of gold costs you rupees 50,000. The reason behind this is inflation. Namaste everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Pooja Sharma. In this video, we are going to talk about inflation. So let's get started. Inflation is nothing but the rise in the prices of goods or services of daily or common use like food, housing, clothing, etc. Because gold has limited availability, unlike currency which the government can print endlessly, so the gold is used to hedge inflation. And this is why many investors prefer to hold gold rather than currency. As a result, when the inflation is high, the demand for the gold increases and vice versa. So you can imagine at what rate inflation must have increased, leading it to present situation. Now let's understand how inflation actually works. There are three major causes of inflation. Number one, demand pull inflation. Number two, cost push inflation. And number three, government policies. Let's talk about the first one, demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation occurs when there is more money available to the individuals and there is a positive consumer sentiment in the market. Now, this positive consumer sentiment leads to higher spending, and thus the overall demand for the goods and services increases more rapidly as compared to the country's production capacity. Now, more money can be made available to people in a variety of ways like reducing the taxes, lowering the bank loan interest rates, etc. etc. Now, because of all this, people will now have more cash left in hand which they can spend in the market. Now, with this increasing demand, if the supply for the same goods and services is not increased in the same proportion, this will lead to rise in the prices and thus inflation. Now, let's talk about the second cause, that is cost push inflation. Cost push inflation occurs when the overall price of a product increases due to the increase in cost of wages or raw material. Higher cost of production can decrease the amount of total production in the economy because of the limited availability of capital in any business. Since the demand for these goods hasn't changed, such price increases are passed on to the consumers, thus creating cost push inflation. For example, semiconductor chips are required in almost every electronic manufacturing process. Recently, because of the shortage in supply of semiconductors, electronic companies had to pay through the roof to source them. In the end, companies had to, of course, pass on this cost to the customers. Therefore, you could see a rise in the prices of all the electronic devices from laptops to ACs to mobiles. Now, let's talk about the third cause of inflation, that is government policies. An increase in the supply of money is the root cause of inflation. The central bank, which in India's case is Reserve Bank of India, can simply increase the money supply by printing and giving out more money to the individuals, thus legally depreciating the value of Indian currency. I know you must be wondering, then when inflation is good for an economy? The answer is when the economy isn't operating at full capacity, which means there is unused labor and capital. Inflation can theoretically help in boosting the output because more money leads to higher spending, which corresponds to more aggregated demand. And as a result of this increased demand, more production is required to supply that need, thus helping to kickstart the economy in the process. Now, finally, let's tackle this very important question. Is inflation bad for everyone? Inflation is perceived differently by everyone depending on the kind of assets they possess. For someone having investments in real estate or stocked commodities like grains, gold or oil, inflation means that the prices of their assets are set for a hike. But those who possess most of their savings in cash will be adversely affected by inflation because the value of their cash is getting eroded with time. So, to sum up in the end, we just learned, number one, what is inflation? Number two, causes of inflation. Number three, when is inflation good for an economy? And number four, is inflation bad for everyone? In the next video, we are going to see how RBI uses its monetary policies to keep the inflation in check and to control the value of Indian rupee. So to get the update whenever we upload the next video, hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video and found the content knowledgeable, do share it with all your friends. Hit the like button and let the YouTube algorithm know that this content is worth sharing with a lot of knowledgeable people like you. Until next time, take care, bye bye, namaste.